Hi, this is Tim Brandon with Byrd Appliance Specialist. Today we're looking at a GE washer, and this issue deals with times when your GE washer makes some noise during washing, but you believe it's not agitating or washing the clothes. And this is what you're probably going to hear first. If you hear this noise, you may not be able to hear it very well, but it basically sounds like the motor's running. You don't hear that swishing noise you usually hear. You may have a problem with the agitator. So the best thing you can do is go ahead and take a look. But obviously when you open the door, the machine switches off. So we're going to show you real quick how you can take a look at the machine while it's on with the door open. What you're doing is replacing this magnet. This magnet is what keeps the machine working and functioning as a safety device. But if you remove the magnet and place it on the door switch itself, you should be able to make this machine operate. Now what you see here is the agitator is not moving. There's no grip on it. Typically this happens when you're filled with water. And what's going on is the agitator teeth inside have been probably worn loose. Alright, now that you've identified that the agitator is the problem with your GE washer, the next step is to try to figure out how to remove it. And first you're going to look and see this cap. Now with most washers, they do have a nut or something where you can remove it. And sometimes, really when you look at this cap, you just need to use a screwdriver to lift up on it and remove it. Now when you look inside, the problem with GE is there are no bolts or any type of nut that you can unscrew to remove the agitator. So this is going to require an extra step, and this is why we wanted to show you this in the video. And what you're going to want to do, number one, is let this water soak for about 10 or 15 minutes, because this agitator is really stuck on there. And we're going to show you in a few minutes after we let it soak how we do remove that. Alright, now that you let it soak for about 10 minutes, the next step is spin your machine to drain so we can get all the water out, so we can try to get this agitator out of the washer. And it should drain on its own completely. So that's what we're waiting on, and once we do that, the next step is going to be trying to do that. While we're waiting for it to drain, I'll show you what you need. You need some kind of strong cord, probably about 6 feet of cord. Fairly thin, but definitely strong. You can use some kind of strap or anything, but this is going to need to fit underneath the agitator. You can go ahead and make a square knot or something strong that you can use to keep it intact, because you're going to have to really jerk on this thing, and it can really be a lot of strength you need to get these things off. That's why we tried to soak it as much as we can. 10 or 15 minutes should do the trick. So as we wait for this thing to drain, we're going to show you the next step, which is how to put the string on, or the rope, and get this thing yanked out. Alright, so here's the next step. Let's take this string and let's wrap it, kind of lift up on the agitator, get the string underneath one side. Try to get it flush up against the spindle. Take your other side and do the same thing. Alright, well, if you can see in here, what we've done is we slid both sides of this rope underneath the agitator and try to get it as close to the spindle as you can. Now you're really going to have to put some pressure on this to jerk this out. And what you want to do is be real careful not to smash yourself in the face. If you want to wear a helmet, it may not be a bad idea. We're going to try to get it out on the first try. Hopefully we can get it. Here we go. And we're done. What you're looking at here is the actual bolt that you didn't see before. This is how you're going to remove this agitator coupler. This normally takes a 7/16 bit, but this one is so degraded that we're going to go ahead and rip it off with vice grips. So we just want to remove that. And there we find the worn out problem. So once we get this replaced, we should have no problem with the agitator. So just follow the steps in reverse to put everything back together, and your machine should be back in shape. And one final note, before you put the new agitator coupling on, just make sure that these splines are clean. You can either run a screwdriver in here like this, or hit it with metal brush, but you want to be able to take care of all that dirt and mess, or otherwise the new coupling won't fit. You'll have trouble getting it on. So just make sure it's clean, and everything should be running properly when you're done.